Thank you, my beautiful beasts. Thank you, my beautiful beasts. Thank you, my beautiful beasts. Thank you, my dream cats. It's great to be here. It's great to be here. This show, Dream Cats Radio, has been occurring every Sunday night from 10 p.m. to at least midnight for the last 6,000 years, and is currently contracted to remain for the next 6,000 years. Every Sunday, 10 to midnight. Every Sunday, 10 to midnight. On KFGM, Frenchtown. On KFGM, Missoula, the Bitterroot. And around the world. Around the world. On missoulacommunityradio.org. The Dancing Plague of 1518, or Dance Epidemic of 1518, was a case of dancing mania that occurred in Strasbourg, Alsace, modern-day France, in the Holy Roman Empire, from July 1518 to September 1518. Somewhere between 50 and 400 people took to dancing for weeks. There are many theories behind the phenomenon, the most popular being stress-induced mass hysteria, suggested by John Waller. Other theories include ergot and religious explanations. There is controversy concerning the number of deaths. Religious explanations. Other theories. There is controversy concerning the number of The outbreak began in July 1518 when a woman called Frau Traffel began to dance fervently and uncontrollably in a street in Strasbourg. Traffel kept up the constant dancing for a week. Soon, 36 others joined in. By August, the dancing plague had claimed 400 victims. Dancers were beginning to collapse. It is said some even died from a stroke or heart attack. No one knew what caused this reaction, which meant no one understood how to remedy it. By early September, the outbreak began to subside when the dancers were sent to a mountain shrine to pray for absolution. Historical documents, including physician notes, cathedral sermons, local and regional chronicles, and even notes issued by the Stroudsburg City Council, are clear that the victims danced. It is not known why. Historical sources agree that there was an outbreak of dancing after a single woman started dancing, and the dancing did not seem to die down. It lasted for such a long time that it even attracted the attention of the authorities until the council gave up authority to the physicians, who prescribed the afflicted to dance themselves free of it. There are claims that guild halls were refurbished to accommodate the dancing, as well as musicians and strong people to help keep those dealing with dancing mania to stay upright. This backfired, and the council was forced to ban public dancing as people danced in fear it was a punishment from Saint Vitus. And to be free of sin, many joined in on the dancing epidemic. The council went as far to ban music as well. Those who danced were then ordered to go to the shrine of Saint Vitus, wore red shoes that were sprinkled with holy water, and had painted crosses on the tops and soles. They also had to hold small crosses in their hands, and incense and Latin incantations were part of this ritual. Apparently forgiven by Vitus, word was spread of a successful ritual, and the dancing plague had ended. Events similar to this are said to have occurred throughout the medieval age, including 11th century in Kolbig, Saxony, where it was believed to be the result of divine judgment. In 15th century Apulia, Italy, a woman was bitten by a tarantula, the venom making her dance convulsively. The only way to cure the bite was to shimmy, and to have the right sort of music available, which was an accepted remedy by scholars like Athanasius Kircher. Contemporaneous explanations include demonic possession and overheated blood. Controversy exists over whether people ultimately danced to their deaths. Some sources claim that for a period the plague killed around 15 people per day. But the sources of the city of Strasbourg at the time of the events did not mention the number of deaths, or even if there were fatalities. There do not appear to be any sources related to the events that make note of any fatalities. Ned Penandrea also claims that the final death toll is not known, but if the claims of 15 people dying per day were true, then the toll could be into the hundreds. The main source for the claim is John Waller, who has written several journal articles on the subject, and a book called A Time to Dance, A Time to Die, The Extraordinary Story of the Dancing Plague of 1518. The sources cited by Waller that mentioned deaths were all from later account of the events. There is also uncertainty around the identity of the initial dancer, either an unnamed woman or Frau Treffel, and the number of dancers involved, somewhere between 50 and 400. Of the 6 chronicle accounts, 4 support Lady Treffel as the first dancer. Some believe the dancing could have been brought on by food poisoning caused by the toxic and psychoactive chemical products of ergot fungi, ergotism, which grows commonly on grains such as rye, used for baking bread. Ergotamine is the main psychoactive product of the ergot fungi. It is structurally related to the drug lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD, and is a substance from which LSD-25 was originally synthesized. The same fungus has also been implicated in other major historical anomalies, including the Salem witch trials. In The Lancet, John Waller argues that this theory does not seem tenable, since it is unlikely that those poisoned by ergot could have danced for days at a time, nor would so many people have reacted to its psychotropic chemicals in the same way. The ergotism theory also fails to explain why almost every outbreak occurred somewhere along the Rhine and Moselle rivers, areas linked by water, but with quite different climates and crops. This could have been an example of fully developed cases of psychogenic movement disorder, happening in mass hysteria or mass psychogenic illness, which involves many individuals suddenly exhibiting the same bizarre behavior. The behavior spreads rapidly and broadly in an epidemic pattern. This kind of comportment could have been caused by elevated levels of psychological stress, caused by the ruthless years, even by the rough standards of the early modern period the people of Alsace were suffering. Waller speculates that the dancing was stress-induced psychosis on a mass level, since the region where the people danced was riddled with starvation and disease, and the inhabitants tended to be superstitious. 7 other cases of the dancing plague were reported in the same region during the medieval era. This psychogenic illness could have created a chorea, from the Greek choreia, meaning to dance, a situation comprising random and intricate, unintentional movements that flit from body part to body part. Diverse choreas, St. Vitus dance, St. John's dance, and Tarantism, were labeled in the Middle Ages, referring to the independent epidemics of dancing mania that happened in Central Europe, particularly at the time of the plague.
Hello?
I wonder if Mike could pick up on it. I guess they make them down there. I wonder if Mike could pick up on it. I guess they make them down there. I wonder if Mike pick up on it. I guess they make them down I wonder if Mike pick up on it. I guess they make them down
Booty wet.